Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in Gris, going for the Eel achievement. This is going to be the big one done at the end of Chapter 4. You're going to get to this segment where you are going to swim up to the hand of this statue. It's going to trigger a little cutscene, and this is going to end up leading you to the escape sequence with the eel. This achievement is to get through this sequence without the eel biting you. This one can be a little tricky, however, thankfully the pattern is never going to change, so if you know it ahead of time, you can be more prepared when you do have to tackle it. So once you are ready, you're going to hold the B button right here in the statue's hand after changing the background. That's going to trigger this cutscene, which is going to lead to the eel sequence. So basic rundown on how the eel escape sequence is going to work. The eel is going to have two different kinds of attacks, which are basically going to be two different sizes of bites. The first type of bite is going to be the small bite. Whenever it does this, all you have to do is make sure you don't press any buttons. Your character should automatically dodge it. Then it's going to have its second attack, which is going to be the big bite. How this is going to work is it's going to open up its mouth wide and then feint a bite. You're going to want to press the A button on the feint, and then as it's actually going in for the bite, you should be able to time it where you can dodge it. So, segment's going to actually start once the eel makes that turn. It's going to start out with a small bite. Make sure you don't press anything. Then you are going to want to let it open up its mouth. It's going to feint. Hit the A button to boost. That should dodge the first big bite. Right after that, it's going to do another big bite, so make sure you let it open its mouth, and then make sure you hit the A button on the feint, and you should be able to dodge that. Then you're going to have a small bite, which your character should automatically dodge, so make sure you don't press anything. Then you're going to have another big bite. Again, hit the A button on the feint. Finally, the path is going to split into two. You can choose either path, it doesn't really matter, but immediately after the split, the eel is always going to split up and then do a big bite. So make sure you hit that A button on the feint, and you should be able to get through the entirety of the first sequence A-OK. The rest of the sequence isn't going to feature any bites, so just make sure you just gun it forward and then just make it to the end. You're going to get a cutscene, and the game is going to send you into an exploration bit, but we are going to have another eel encounter later on as soon as we're done with this. So once you get to the other side of this fade to black, you should start the exploration bit. Thankfully, there isn't going to be anything here that's going to void the achievement. So feel free to catch your breath here if you found that last bit pretty intense. But basically, you're going to follow the lights, and this is going to lead to the second part of the eel chase. There is going to be a collectible along the way in the form of a memento, so make sure you grab that if you're still going for those, but you're going to want to mentally prepare yourself for the next part of the eel chase once you start swimming downward. So it's going to look a little something like this. Once you swim into this giant dark chasm right here, the eel is going to pop up, and that's going to be when you need to get ready for the next part of the chase. So again, the pattern is never going to change, so make sure you try to get this sequence down. It's going to start out with a small bite. Make sure you don't do anything, and you should automatically dodge it. Big bite's coming up. Make sure you wait for the feint. Hit the A button on the feint, and you should dodge that. Then you're going to have a small bite right after that. So again, make sure you don't touch any buttons. Then you're going to have the last big bite you have to worry about. So again, hit the A button on the feint. And then the rest of the sequence is just small bites. So just set the controller down, and you should automatically dodge everything coming up, and that's going to basically lead to the end of the sequence. So again, this one's not going to be too hard if you know what to do ahead of time and are ready to deal with it when it does come up. So make sure you let it do its 3 small bites. Again, you don't have to press anything, and the sequence is going to end with this nice cutscene where our friend the turtle is going to show up and save the day. Once the turtle brings you to the terminal destination, you should be good for the achievement, assuming that the eel did not bite you. So let that turtle carry you all the way to the finish line, and then once you are back in control of your character, achievement should be yours right here. 55 gamer score for this one, and that's all there is to it.